Now, good afternoon, good evening, hello from wherever you are watching. It is time to head to round number 3. I'm joined once again by the one, the only, the living legend, Logan Skelton, here for round number 3.
Hello.
It's a manager vote. We're going to a circuit these drivers don't know, but they do know now, and we're heading to the Red Bull Ring. We're heading to Austria.
Damn it! I really thought we were going to Hockenheim. It's in the game, right?
It's there somewhere. It's there somewhere. But yeah, Austria now. I believe the drivers have been told that they are heading to Austria. They've just been told. We've been told in advance, thankfully, because otherwise it makes our life a little more difficult. But we're heading to the 10, really only 9 turns of Austria for tonight. 36 laps of this circuit we're going to be enduring, but after last round, I'm not all too bothered about 36 laps of Austria because the action, as always, definitely up there.
Yeah, it's one of the fastest, most exhilarating tracks on the calendar. Maybe, if not the most exhilarating track on the calendar. The Red Bull Ring, 10 turns, 1 minute and 5 odd lap times. There's so much to be had here, but CPI seems to be running away with it. They got a 1-2 last time. They have 123 points, 54 ahead of LDL. LDL pretty much need a massive victory over CPI. Everything has to go wrong for CPI if they are to fall behind tonight. Same goes for our NLR, who are in third with 66. IRT is also up there with 64, and then it's another big jump to RCR at 31. ORT's got 20, ESRL 18, WR, who had only one showing last week, 16, VMV on 12, who had a DNF and a disqualification, and at the bottom of the table it is RVL on 9.
Absolutely. We've got a lot to look forward to tonight as we head to Austria then. Hopefully everything's okay. I finally just got the Twitch stream loaded up. It's not going to be all too long till we're heading into this track. I mean, it's it's fast, it's flowing, it takes a lot of precision. We'll probably see drivers get into the 104s, possibly the 103s, I think, in qualifying. I mean, there's a lot of things to kind of that might affect it. Could we see rain? That's also another question that we might have to answer as well. I mean, if there is rain, it could be on for a spicy one. I mean, changeable conditions happens quite a bit at this circuit as well. It's got its own bit of a microclimate due to those Austrian hills above, but regardless of those Austrian hills, we're in for an absolute barnstormer. I am absolutely sure of it. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a track like Austria, can you?
No, you can't. Absolutely not. It can bring some variable weather at times. It's usually sunny, and it's what should be tonight. We are waiting for everyone. We've got 19. I think we are 19 tonight. Yeah, 19 drivers tonight out of the 20 possible. Do try and look and see. Yes, one of the Haas teams. I do believe that is it the ESRL? Get these teams mixed up.
Well, not a problem. We're looking and just keeping an eye on the Discord chat. And, well, so many drivers reacting to the track. Some not quite as happy as others. I'm not surprised in the slightest, because drivers always want a track that suits them. And not everyone's getting a track that suits them for tonight. But looking at the grid, we're looking like a good grid, solid grid tonight, and we're very nearly there. In fact, we are pretty much there. Cut over to the track. I have no idea if you're going to have game audio. Does it? Yes. Oh, look at me. It's almost like I do this for a living. I don't actually do it for a living.
Sorry, Byron, to cut over you, but I'm sorry. Enzo is not part of ESRL. I'm sorry, Haas is not ESRL. It's ORT, and only Enzo is representing them tonight.
There we go. There is your roster there. Look at the right-hand side of your screen. We've got 19 drivers, plenty of talent, a lot of things to look forward to tonight. A lot of talent, and some of them racing, obviously, in other championships as well. And I'll be casting over probably one or two of these in another championship tomorrow, most likely. But here we go. It's time for round number 3. Time for qualifying here in Austria. 80-minute session to decide the grid. I mean, it's one of those tracks that anything can happen. It's dry now, but doesn't mean it's going to be dry come the end of the session, because this sort of track can just change at any time. Moment's notice is all it needs, and all of a sudden it's raining everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to mention the lineup tonight, IRT have Phil and Nod, who's somehow saying FVR at the side. That's not right. It's IRT. CPI have Jamie and Gatkowski. Of course, Gatkowski won in the first race. He was absent from the second, but he's back here for the third, hoping to make it 3 in a row for the team. We have Indian and Inwa for the VMV team. Mustache, I love that name, and Spicer representing the NLR team in the Williams. Clemo and Johnny Stokes, they are in the AlphaTauri for. If I try and find the name, that would be nice. I can't seem to find it. If they actually put the tag, it would be much easier for us commentators, because we're actually given.
Aston Martin is WR.
I think it's ESRL. No, I was talking about the AlphaTauris. Yes, I'm aware. Lars Kramer and Jerome, of course, the WOR team. LDL have Xenon and Nico. Indian's retired from the session. I do believe he has a qualifying ban into this race, so that's why he's retired. There would be no point if he just retired on the spot. RCR Lorenzo and Aladini. Sorry, my vision's not that good. And Guitance and Killer Storm for the RVLs. And of course, on his own is Johnny Stokes. Jamie's left the session. That's not a good sign. I'm going to get him back in.
Yeah, not a good start for CPI there. They might be leading the championship, but one of their drivers already having a bit of a disconnect early on. So maybe a sign of things to come. Maybe it's not going to be CPI taking a third win in the third round. But here we go. It is time to get the first lap underway, and it's going to be Lars Kramer taking us away for WR for the first lap of Austria. It's a barn-stop tour around this circuit. 10 corners, only 9 of them really actually corners, because one of them is just a kickback heading up into turn number 1 here, going down to about 100 miles an hour through there. Very nice on the exit there. DRS wide open now as we head down this first of 3 DRS zones at this circuit. It is very rare you get 3, but there we go. Into this tight corner. Very difficult. How late do you dare brake? But there we go. Lars Kramer now down the second DRS straight here. Heading into turn number 4 here. Running as fast to the left as you can. Run as wide as you can on the exit. Not trying to push these track limits too much early doors, but trying to get as much lap time as possible, but get a representative lap time here. Run it as wide on this exit here. Keep as close to that apex, run as far as you can out there on the exit there. Now into turn number 9 here. Very fast, very flowing, 160 miles an hour through there, and then down to 140 through the final bend, but he's invalidated. So a useless lap, but a 103.6, so a very good lap time there.
And while coming around the final corner, he is clean around the final corners and goes up to 103.863. Next across the line should be
Mustache.
if I can find a Mustache. Yes, he's crossing the line right now, and he goes faster by 12 thousandths. But early days, of course, times surely will be crashing down as we come closer. 104.731 for the ESRL John Stokes. Crossing the line now, Xenon goes to the top, 103.69. And his teammates just about across the line to start his lap, Nico. And then it will be, I believe, Gatkowski, round 1's winner in China. in the corner, but he's went wide, and that will be validation. Did
to the top
actually
with
no?
that?
It's count.
Okay.
It's actually counted.
Okay.
It looks like he went off the track.
He did.
Missed something.
No, he went completely off the road, but Gankowski to the top of the timesheets in an interesting way. That's not the racing line. That's not the normal line the drivers take, but why not? Spicer, though,
anyway.
to the top, beaten by a tenth of a second. So that lap time for Gankowski, questionable, but not exactly a good pace anyway, so no wonder it has been checked in the bin, per se, but... now you got Nico coming round for LDL. He might have got a bit of his toe from his teammate down, I believe, the first straight of this lap. But now, round the final few bends, Nico goes. As Killer Storm there starts a flying lap, nearly running out of track limits there, Nico, but up to the line, only 6th place, but still not far off those 103s. Very good lap times from the drivers so far. That's Clemo across the line as well there, a 105.1. So quite a big difference early doors between the top and bottom of the timesheets, but that's kind of what you expect for these opening laps, but the field, I have no doubt, is really going to converge and bunch up towards the end of this session.
Yes, indeed. Only 12 minutes to go in the session. We have 11 laps set. Killer Storm and Phil are still on laps as I speak. Phil just about to approach turn number 9 here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria.
He's coming
in. The managers won't know he's actually backed off. Sorry, he's backed off. Killer Storm still coming on a lap in 5th. Well, he's not really in a place because he is not set a lap yet, but he's still going at full throttle, coming to turn number 9 at 160 miles per hour. Now coming to the final corner, he stays clean. It looks like he's playing it very conservatively around the final corner there, and it is only 9th for the RVL driver, just under a second behind in Lars Spicer.
Yeah, absolutely. No surprise, though. Keeping it clean within track limits is good for those first couple of laps, because you really need to try and make sure you get that first lap time on the board, and no doubt that is exactly what they are doing. Just making sure getting that lap time on the board, making sure you get it done, and then you've got no problems. You can go flat out if you get that good banker lap in. So, not a problem at all. I have been told that if that lap time from Gatkowski isn't improved upon, then that lap time will just be invalidated. So, because that is clearly should have been invalidated by the game. I've had that just come through from the stewards, but Jamie's back in, and Lars Kramer is beginning a hot lap here. Doesn't look like anyone else is putting in much of a good lap at the moment. In fact, no one is, but Lars Kramer, purple in Sector 1, supposedly, just about to go into the 15-second mark. This is a WR driver, so no surprise. A DRS slipstream toe, a helping hand coming in from Jerome there as he go down into turn number 4, taken very nicely indeed. The Aston Martin glimmering under the sunlight here in Austria, and, well... Will it be Red Bull on top with RVL, or will it be another team taking to the top of this timesheet come the end of this session? Well, who knows, but Lars Kramer is certainly probably hoping that it's going to be him at the top of the timesheets, as will all of these other 18 drivers yet, because Indian isn't here. Lars Kramer taking an interesting line across the final corner. Another driver getting a weird line, but again counting. So these drivers, they're going to really need to get a better lap time than that, because if they aren't able to improve, they're just going to lose the time. And then they're going to be down the order, probably quite towards the bottom as well.
Yes, indeed, of course. These times are going to tumble down by track evolution, I presume. Halfway through the session now, it's still 103.504 to beat from the Spicer in the LR, sorry. Other drivers on a lap. It doesn't seem like there is any other driver on a lap. Everyone just going out for their second run. 13 drivers set a time. 6 have not. 1 cannot. Of course, they've retired from the session. Jamie's back in the session and on the track. Phil is on his lap now, and he's approaching the first turn, which is named after the late great Niki Lauda, 3-time Formula 1 champion of the world. Well, drivers champion of the world. I don't think it was called Formula 1 back then. I think it was just called Grand Prix racing, and of course, the cars were Formula 1 spec. It's just been called that ever since. So he comes around to the top of the hill. And now coming down the hill in that lovely looking McLaren. I cannot wait to see it in chrome again if they ever get the chance to, because of course they did that at Britain and I was there, I can prove it. Phil coming around to turn number 4. I think it's called Schlossgold, correct me if I'm wrong. Ignore the yellow flags. There's no penalty for getting a yellow flag, unlike illegal blocking in this server. So coming around to turns 7 and 8, nicely on the throttle. Now approaching turn number 9, and my goodness, there's a weaving Mercedes there. Nearly hit him. He's lucky not to. So the final corner gets a little bit away from the apex, but he's going to cross the line clean, and it's going to be 1:04.002. Only 7th, Byron.
Yeah, not a lap time that we would necessarily have been expecting to see there from Phil, but the action continuing nonetheless. Jamie beginning his first hot lap as well now, obviously not being able to set a lap time up to this point in the session. Wasn't in the lobby for most of this session so far, so finally able to get a lap time on the board and probably hoping for something a little bit more, but obviously these drivers, the lap times will continue to tumble, no doubt, but Spicer is on yet another hot lap here through Sector 2, improving as well, so this could be another lap time to further cement the lead that he's already got. Nearly a tenth of a second, the lead he has, but can he set the bar higher? Well, it's time for him to try. Enzo there, retiring. I believe that's a pit lane retirement. Clearly wanting to do it last first for no reason whatsoever, but Spicer beating the lap time again, and another half tenth taken off of it, and now it's down to others to respond. Gatkowski isn't improving on his lap time. In fact, I don't think he's fully backed off. Lars Kramer on an out lap. Nico doesn't seem to be improving either, so not many drivers improving on the second runs. Jamie, by the way, up to 7th, so not a bad lap time for him.
Very nice. His teammates up there in 2nd place. They could be in great contention for extending that lead tonight. Of course, the likes of NLR and LDL trying to catch up, then they probably need to at this rate if they have any chance of stopping those boys in the Mercedes cars. Here comes Killerstorm up the hill. He is on his 2nd lap. It's the 1:04.498. This is best. He wants to go a second faster would be ideal because, of course, that is what is faster than him. A second ahead is Spicer, who has already improved on his time. Lars Kramer has crossed the line to start his next hot lap, and he's approaching up the hill right now, and it looks like he's going. Is he going at full throttle? It doesn't look like it. It is quite tough to tell if they're on a hot lap or not, but he is coming up the hill and into the next corner and down to the straight. It's a 3rd place so far, 2 attempts down, and yeah, I don't think he's going at a regular pace. I think he's just trundling around.
Yeah, absolutely not pushing at all. 100% ERS. So clearly, probably giving his teammate maybe a bit of a toe. No, Jerome's on a outlap, so possibly no idea what's going on there at WR, but not a surprise. Just recharging the battery, probably most likely here. But these laps, they come at you thick and fast around Austria, and it's no surprise. It's a short track, but it's also a fast track. So these drivers, the field is really close here, but we're still waiting for the field to close up a little bit because Spicer just keeps setting that bar faster and faster and faster, and no one else is quite being able to contend with what he's doing. But anything's possible between now and the end of this session.
Lorenzino goes 6th for 1:03.685. Phil is not on a lap, it seems. Kramer is on a lap after giving up the first time. Jerome there as well. Now, is this going to be... No, it's not going to be the toe. And he's 9 thousandths down on his previous time, is Lars Kramer. Needs to find an improvement. It very crucially does at this late stage of the session. If he's any way to withstand his 3rd place, he has to get a good time in. He's coming around the turns 7 and 8 right now. Nicely done on the curb. He misses going off the track, staying on, and now into turn number 9. Turn number 9 is clean, just barely though, and so is turn number 10. And he has a little slider at the final turn, but he's okay. And he goes 2nd. He's 23 thousandths down on Spizer's time, so that's a very good benchmark to set and ready for the final set of laps, and that will be actually he has to hurry up though because he's got 3 minutes left in the session. If he can get back in quickly, get a recharge of tires, he'll be okay. I think he'll get one more lap in.
I'm not sure if he'll quite be able to manage it. In fact, he might just be slowing down. So clearly not thinking about getting another lap in here. But you got to think that cements him in that position because now he can't have that lap time that he went off the track on invalidated. But think about Gatkowski. If he doesn't improve on this final run, he will start all the way at the back of the grid because he has a lap time that's going to be invalidated. His lap time,
yes, we'll have to restart the race, won't we?
He has a lap time that's good enough for third as things stand, but it's actually an invalidated lap time. He shouldn't have had it set, and he's really, if he doesn't, finish this session with an improvement, that'll be it for him. He'll be right at the back of the grid. So now we're trying to figure out what is going on.
There was another driver that had a lap time, and I think it might have been. No, it can't be Lars because his lap was definitely valid.
Lars's original lap was off the track, and now he cements his P2 with that valid lap. But Gatkowski needs to obviously get that improvement here. He's gone off the road.
Oh my god!
Letting the Ferrari
he almost got
through.
in the way of Xenon. He almost got in the way of Xenon.
He did. I think he did. I think he did get in the way of Xenon because Xenon's invalidated
and
he's slowing down. So, unfortunately, I wonder if he's going to repay the favour and maybe get in the way. He doesn't, but interesting there from Gatkowski, as now he runs up the hill. He needs to get a battle lap time in on this final run. Is he going to be able to, though? He's already improving through the first sector. These drivers, they're warming up to this track more and more, and no surprise, because, well, they have no option, but they didn't know the track, so now they're having to learn it on the fly, practice on the fly through this qualifying session now. But Gatkowski set that purple sector 1, now through sector 2. He goes through this left-hander. Look at the speed you carry through here, but he runs wide there. Not hitting the apex nicely, not running too wide there, but he's still improving, and, well, 700s up here, and not looking too bad. But now through the final couple of bends here, this is where it's really difficult, really easy to invalidate. But now up to the line, can he go to the top? He does go to the top. What a lap time from Gatkowski. That's got no chance of getting invalidated there. What a lap time from him. Now Spicer, can he respond? He's up slightly in sector 1. Is he up in sector 2? He is up in sector 2. In fact, it might be Spicer going back up to the top of the timesheets. Lars Kramer has come out to give his teammate a tow in the final stage of the session, trying to get a better result for WR. Jerome there down in 30th, but Spicer now up to the line. There we go, to the top of the timesheets. A 103.370 from Spicer there to the top. What can other drivers do? Nico won't be improving. He's finished his lap. And Moustache won't improve either there. 5th, invalidated. What about Inwa, though? Nope. Inwa has finished his lap too. Is there anyone currently on a lap? I literally can't seem to tell.
I think it was Jerome. Jerome's crossed the line. Who else is going to cross the line? Kramer is not being set in a lap time, and I do not think Killer Storm is going to get anywhere near. No, Killer Storm not improving.
Phil across the line.
Phil coming across the line, and he only...
No.
He's invalidated, of course.
And Nord didn't set a lap time either. Invalidated every lap. He has no lap time going into this. Also, I don't think we haven't had a grid penalty, I don't think.
Illegal blocking grid penalty. What the heck happened there?
Did we have one grid penalty?
We've only had warnings for speeding in the pit lane and exceeded track limits invalidations.
So we don't even need a lobby restart, as far as I'm aware.
No, I don't think we do. So, unless something happens.
Unless it's just mandatory.
I mean, I would be cool with that. I know what to expect, but I do believe it is a Yes, it is a straight into the race we go for CSS, the Competitive Speed Series. I have some competitive speed. Yep, confirmed by the Ace of Spades. No restart. Don't pause chaos. I'm calling the Ace of Spades. Don't care what you say.
It
Don't
does get.
pause chaos.
We want chaos. But here we go then. That was qualifying, and that was Spicer to the top of the timesheets, and a good lap time there. 103.370. Gatkowski in second for CPI there. Just 500 off. Lars Kramer there in third. Nico fourth. Moustache in fifth. In sixth. Good start there for CPI as things stand. Lorenzino there in seventh, and Xenon there in eighth. Not looking too bad for LDL in Ferrari. Jamie there ninth. Jerome there in 10th for WR. Phil, Johnny Stokes, Killer Storm, Alan Deeney, and there's other people, but I didn't quite manage to catch them, so we'll just pretend they don't exist at all. But here we go then. No need for an advert break. No need for a pit stop and a couple moments to breathe, because we don't get that here today, because these drivers, they kept it clean in qualifying. No grid penalties. We're heading straight into this race. So many drivers just managed to keep it somehow clean around such a difficult track to keep it clean around too.
Yes, of course, there's a lot of runoff areas here, and Koski should consider himself lucky that his lap is going to stand, because he's now on the front. Is he on the front row? I missed the grid.
He is.
He is on the front row. Oh, yes, Mercedes is there in the picture. Yes, we're about to get away. It's a bit of doom and gloom out there. It's very cloudy, stratus cloud over the hills, which will be alive. The sound of V6, unsadly. Engines, yes, V6. I know you want V10s. I want V12s. Or no, V2s. V2s. No, Formula E engines. Okay. Apparently the weather is saying it's snow.
Yes, light rain midway through this race is what I have been told. God, that could cause chaos. That could cause some chaos in this qualifying session. I genuinely don't know what I've just been told, but we're going to have rain at some point in this race. But first of all, we've got to get the race underway. I mean, so much things to think about going into this one. I mean, we haven't got that long time to process qualifying, think about what we're looking up forward to in this race, because we're about to just be thrown straight into it. No time to think about it, because we're going to be just straight into the action, but who knows when, because it could just come at any moment in time.
Yeah, make your predictions. Weather forecasters across the globe. When's it going to rain? I am no weather forecaster, I can tell you right now. I am not. My name is not Michael Fish. And again, even him, he thought there was no hurricane coming, and what happened to hurricane? And everything went crazy. We're still waiting for everyone to get underway. It seems like it's taking a long time to get started. Of course, we've got setups already done. I think we're just waiting for... I don't know what we're waiting for, actually.
Ready up, probably, from whoever is hosting the lobby. We're just probably waiting for that. But in a few moments' time, we're heading to Austria fan favourite track. Nico has just asked when we can go. I don't know, mate. You're the host. You tell us.
I'd say go.
I love that. When can we go? Whenever you want.
Well, we're definitely going. We're definitely going in the next 15 seconds.
We definitely should be within the next couple of seconds here. It is Austria, 10 corners, not much to think about here, other than we're going to have rain, it's going to be carnage, we're going to have so much to talk about. I hope you've got your poncho out there ready, because I have no idea. This rain could come at any point in this race. It looks so gloomy now. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes by about lap 5. Possibly.
I prefer my swimsuit over raincoats, in all honesty.
Well, that's something to keep to your OnlyFans, I have no doubt.
Hey! No, that's how I deal with the rain. Treat it like it's a swimming pool.
Well,
It was a
well,
joke.
well.
How dare you promote that thing in something like this? There are kids watching.
Yes, one of
There are
them's called
children
Ace.
watching. Don't ruin their
One
souls.
of them's called Ace. So, but here we
All right,
go.
here we go.
2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Here in Austria, the hills are alive with action. Here, Spicer leads the way, but Gatkowski into turn number 1, trying to mount the challenge. Spicer runs it wide, can Gatkowski get alongside as we head up the hill. For the first time here, we got 36 laps ahead of us here. Tyres looking mostly like mediums across the field, but the rain will be coming.
Whoa!
The dive there from Nico, 3
Nico!
positions
Oh, the
gained.
sash!
Chaos behind. Both LLR cars have lost places on the opening
It
lap
was
of this
fun.
race. Here, Inwa has spun all the way down in 19th. Not a great start for VMV here because both cars rounding out the bottom of the field, 18th and 19th. Gatkowski leads though from Lars Kramer. Nico there in third. Spicer down 3 places on the opening lap, but look at Jerome up 5 places. Wow, what a lap, what an opening from Jerome and WR. Both drivers gaining places, but Jerome the biggest gainer with 5 places on the opening lap.
A horrible start for Spicer. They lose a combined 5 places, including Spicer down from 1st to 4th. As they cross the line for the first time, it's Koski and Kramer and Nico up there in the top 3, all gain 1 spot. Jerome from 10th to 5th, an impressive start by the WR driver Inwa and Indian rounding the back. Enzo Max has already made a move up to 16th. That is a nod going wide at the first corner. Heading up the hill once again, that's Spicer and Nico dueling for 3rd place. And Spicer has already made up 1 position there, getting 1 back from LDL, the 2nd place team in the championship now. And now he's relegated even up 6 places, and he's even having a pop at Spicer for 3rd. He can't get there in time, so he remains in 4th place with Spicer ahead of him. And we've got Jamie, who's one of only 3 drivers besides Johnny Stokes and Aladini, staying in his position after that chaotic start, which is usually the part of the course here at Austria, of all this runoff with these tight width of track as we come around to start the 3rd lap, and DRS will be enabled, Byron.
Absolutely, and that's when it's going to get a little bit silly because now the train begins. Now everyone begins to hunt in the DRS, and this is when drivers can really begin to pounce and overtake and duel it out for every single position. But now, Lars Kramer, he's got DRS on Gatkowski, and Gatkowski will have nothing to defend with as we head up the hill. Once again, the LDL cars running nearly side by side. Moustache battling there with Xenon there for 6th place, but Moustache getting the worst end of that. But is it a change of position here for LDL? Nico trying to get ahead. Xenon trying to get ahead of Nico there, but nothing worth happening on that particular occasion. And I realised I forgot to put myself in Do Not Disturb. It's raining! It's raining on lap 3!
Oh no!
That's a bit early in the race. Jerome's gained so many positions because he went on the softs, and now it's raining on lap 3 of 36. Someone said it was going to rain in the middle. Well, it's come a lot earlier than that.
Well, Jerome's won the lottery there because surely they're all going to come in early now. Jerome is on fire with that decision, and that's paying off very handsomely indeed because they're all going to be going on at the same time. All the other drivers and mediums we've got, that's Johnny Stokes coming in the pits already. He's premature on the intermediates. Clemo, Raladini, and Enzo also on sauce. They're going to gain some positions as well. Aladini is trying to get past. Clemo's trying to get past Aladini, and he does. Meanwhile, up there, that's Spicer passing Lars Kramer back up into 2nd place. A great recovery from him after that difficult start. Now he's half a second behind Gatkowski. I don't know what I just heard from your side, Byron, but it doesn't sound very good. And Jerome is already behind his teammates. What's the state of play here? They can't pit at the same time, surely.
Surely,
suicide.
Surely one of them is going to have to come in before the other. But look at the track. It's getting damp. It's going to get dangerous. It's going to get difficult. These drivers are going to have to really wrestle the car around here. But who is going to take the gamble and come in for the intermediate tyres here? Surely I thought one of the WR cars was going to come in, but no. But who is going to gamble?
Whoa.
It's going to be Moustache for NLR coming into the pit lane. There's going to be a gamble for the intermediate tires. When does DRS get disabled? So many things to think about. But those drivers who started on the softs, if they were able to use them to gain positions like Jerome, they can gain handsomely. But the track, look at it, I'm seeing the rain on the track now. It's getting even more dangerous. Who has made the right call here? Well, it could be the drivers that have come in on lap number 4. But now, lap 5, Gatkowski continues to lead. The battle is continuing down the order. DRS hasn't been disabled yet, but it's not going to be long.
You know, Phil's just fallen down the field. He had an incident at turn 1. He's down at 13th. And that is the last thing he wanted. IRT trying to get anywhere close to CPI, and it's not helping with that incident. And we've got Spicer right on the back of Gatkowski, who is... Well, actually, he's got the Alfa Romeo of Inwa in front of him, who's about to be lapped. And they're all coming in!
They're all coming in! And it's not a surprise. Look at the track. It's so wet now. It's damp everywhere you look. There's rain everywhere. But Jerome is going to have to double stack with his teammate.
No.
He's tried to back off as much as possible to try and create a gap, but he's not been able to. He might hold up other cars here in the pit lane as well. Think about that. The poor Alfa Romeo as well. Look there, Indian is in the box.
No, it's fine. He's getting a weird front wing change.
Front wing change as well. But
and I think there's an unsafe pit release active anyway. So Jerome is that after all that he's fallen down positions as a result.
Yeah.
Is that a bad play from WOR? Meanwhile, Aladini's up to 11th. He already pit though. He's actually got ahead of looks like Guy Taunt and Johnny Stokes up there as well. As now the race resumes. DRS is disabled. Has Jamie. I don't think Jamie's come in very well. He's struggling out there, Byron.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's why WR had to pit both cars on the same lap, because the time that Gatkowski is gaining on Jamie is in the temps every corner. You know, Gatkowski gaining absolute bucket loads of time. No surprise Jamie's losing a ton, because the track conditions are so treacherous here. The rain came down, and within a lap, that was it. The track was sopping wet. And, well, so many things can be clipped here of us just talking about the track conditions, because it sounds so wrong us talking about how wet it is. But it just happened. It's literally so just what more could you want? The action came, it delivered, it unfolded, but Gatkowski still leads.
Yeah, Jamie coming out of the pit now. Well, he's actually gained what looks like 2 places, and he's actually challenging for what looks like Loon's.
Wow!
He's into this corner, my goodness, and. Looks like Moustache has come out on top of that. Or has he? No, Jamie has got through. Wow. That looks like it did play out well in the long run, as they have 4 cars battling for 4th place, and Nico is the head of that train. And meanwhile, there's a yellow flag in the sector, and I think that's, it's Inwa again. He's just been struggling all day. He started 6th. After that first lap incident, he's just been falling down the order. And that this might be the final nail in the coffin for the VMVs tonight. Meanwhile, LDL, Nico is still in 4th, trying to fend off Jamie, who took the alternate strat, stayed long on those mediums. It looked like it didn't help, but actually, it somewhat did. Up into 5th, and now challenging for that 4th place, which would take him up 6 positions from his starting... 5 positions from his starting position of 9th. Lars Kramer's 1 second behind Spicer. Spicer 1 second almost behind Kwiatkowski. And no DRS is going to do him even more harm. He's much slower out of that final corner. And now there's a sector 3 flag, again for Inwa, I'm sure. And Jerome and Xenon, and it looks like Clemo are fighting for 8th, Byron.
Yeah, but look at Jamie getting ahead of Nico there into turn number 4. Sweet as you like it, Jamie is on absolute rails right now for battling here for 4th. I'm not sure quite what you've seen behind, but the battling continue there. Oh, it's Jerome and Xenon battling there for 8th place, and this is every point that WR need, because they're trying to get up this championship, trying to fight for it. They've had an unlucky start to the season, but trying to get as many points out of it. Xenon there battling away, but I mean, look at the pace of Jamie on those intermediate tyres, really blistering stuff from the Mercedes, sorry, and well, getting ahead of a lot of cars. Thought going out late was going to be bad, but it's not been too bad. Inward there,
Oh.
off into the gravel once again. I mean, when do you call it quits? You're nearly, nearly been lapped twice in this race on lap 9. That is very unlucky.
Sorry, Byron, I have to go back to the front. Spicer is now closer to Gatkowski than he ever was. As Xenon gets back past Jerome now, does Jerome have a response? Yes, he does. He's going to try and get that position back. He's right side by side, but no, looks like Jerome stays ahead. And he's going to have Clemmel to fight off as Lonzinho gets ahead of Nico for 5th place. Struggling is Nico after the rain had come down. As Spicer sticking behind Gatkowski, trying to get what he had to start with, the pole, the lead. And he's going to have a chance at the next one. And Inwa has finally called it quits. He's in the pit as Nod is down to 18th. Had an incident, it seems, and is now down to the back. Gatkowski starting to feel the pressure, Byron.
Absolutely, Gatkowski. He's got Spicer for company. Rapid so far on these intermediate tyres. You can really tell who's geared their setup towards these changeable conditions. I mean, look at the pace that Jamie's got. Look at the pace that Spicer's got as well as Lars Kramer behind Gatkowski. He set his car up clearly more for these dry conditions. He was good at the start, but now that the rain has come, he's just not able to keep it, quite as fast as he might like to. But Jamie has been gaining in nicely on this. Moustache there battling with Nico behind. Someone's gone round. That's Indian. So the action resuming and VMV's struggles continuing. But LDL, Nico there battling once again with Moustache, but not losing that particular place. But Nico losing a lot of places. Clearly got a dry setup on so many cars, struggling in these conditions. But others absolutely thriving right now. But Spicer continuing to apply that pressure for the race win that I think is probably going to be his within the next couple of laps.
Yes, he's still right behind Gatkowski as they try to close up. Into lap 11 we go. We're almost a third of the way through the race here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. It is raining as I speak. Spicer just trying to find any way past Gatkowski. The team that has dominated the first 2 races, CPI. We got a 1-2 last week, but now NLR Spicer is trying to put an entry. He's on the outside. Is he going to go for this one? Oh, he's collision! Collision between Gatkowski, and they're banging wheels again. They're banging wheels again. That was a crazy incident between the two, and they're still fighting for the lead. Here goes Spicer on the outside. He has the racing line, and Gatkowski trying to capitalize. I'm laughing. They collision again. They've collided again. And Gatkowski somehow still in the lead. And this is waking up Lars Kramer all of a sudden. Now he's seen them fight and he's going to try and take advantage. He's closing up. He's already gained a few temps thanks to that kerfuffle between the top 2. Gatkowski somehow still in the lead. Jamie making up positions. He's almost on to Lars Kramer, who's in 3rd. 4 temps separating the top 2. It's about to kick off.
It is about to kick off indeed. Spicer really in the hunt and trying to get into this race leading position, but Jamie has gained so many seconds over the last couple of laps. You cannot count CPI out here. Gatkowski might be leading. Maybe he should have hold it up, trying to bring his teammate into this battle, because Jamie has arrived on the scene now within the hypothetical DRS range, but obviously not enabled here because, well, I'm not sure if you noticed, but it is certainly raining. It's coming down from the sky, but the slide of these tyres coming in once again for Spicer here on the exit of turn number 3, heading down the hill. Once again, turn number 4. It's a technical corner!
Whoa, what the heck?
What has happened there?
He's gone wide. He lagged.
He lagged. Desync happened. And, the game clearly wanting to play and mess with us here because all of a sudden it looked like Gatkowski had lost it. He hadn't. But why not? Just give us a little bit more to scream about, because there's a lot already to scream and shout about. But just give us a bit more. Why not?
Yeah. Don't do that again, Cold Masters, please. I've played all your snooker games and I loved every one of them. Anyway, here we go once again. Now we've got a battle between 1st and 2nd. And third and fourth, meanwhile, Nod has actually went off the track and had a collision with the wall and is absolutely struggling. I don't know what's going on there, but he's absolutely losing it at the back there. Jerome Phil and Clemo side by side. This for 10th place, and Phil is through. Back to the front. What's going on? It doesn't seem like much is happening. Fashion, waiting for something to open up, someone to make a mistake, someone to fall behind, or try and apply more pressure to the driver in front, but it's not happening. Clemo behind Phil for 10th. He got past on the stretch. Now I think Nod's going to pull it out. Yes, Nod's pulled out, throwing the towel, and FDR now, IRT is now down one driver, Phil on his own.
Absolutely, but lap number 13 of 36, a penalty there. As Jamie battles with Lars Kramer there up to third place, and clearly capitalising on every opportunity coming his way, and now Spicer might have to do a bit more looking behind as opposed to in front, because now he's got Jamie for company for CPI, and could this be Gatkowski trying to back Spicer up into Jamie, trying to get the 1-2? They're certainly a team known for their pace, so it's a bit interesting to see the lack of pace from Gatkowski as things stand. Is this a tactic, a ploy to try and get a better result here? Well, anything is absolutely possible, but Spicer now continuing to try and get up into the race lead. But now, Jamie closing up once more within 0.5 of a second now. Jamie, we thought he was going to lose loads of time being out on the dries when DRS got disabled, but this driver, he's clearly made a good call here because he's now battling for the race lead here as Lars Kramer falls behind now. He's not quite able to keep with this train maybe as much as he might like, but this entire top four separated by mere meters on the road, and certainly a battle that we're going to see continue going forward.
Yes, just a note, Jerome's just behind 8th place and trying to pin a move on the LDL driver now. As Indian get another penalty. Lots of drivers further down getting penalties. Spies are keeping it clean, and so is Gatkowski. Heading up to turn 1, lap 15 here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, the host of the third round of the competitive speed series on PlayStation. It's NLR versus CPI up front. CPI have 2, NLR has 1, and that 1 is trying to get closer up to the first place position. They can't seem to post it off. Still about 7/10 behind. This makes it very dangerous for him. He could fall into the clutches of Jamie anytime soon. Lars Kramer trying to stick around in 4th. We've got Lorenzinho down in 5th, 3.7 seconds behind. And then you got Nico in 6th with 1.36 behind Lorenzinho. And Moustache there in 7th, who's battling. That's Phil going for a move on Jerome for 9th, and he has made it stick. A nice move from Phil, who's on his own, but he loses it out of the corner. And this opens up a position for Jerome, but he can't get it in time and loses position to Phil, who's now in 9th place, after his teammate Nod out of the race, pulling out a few laps to go. Now, Jerome still has to try and find a way back. He was going right up the order early on that soft tyres, but he had to double stack. He had no choice, otherwise he'd lose out, and he paid the penalty for that, going back down to 10th, where he started this race. Meanwhile, up the front, it's still kicking off.
Absolutely, it is kicking off. And I'm not sure if you noticed, Logan, it stopped raining. It's not raining on the circuit anymore. There's no precipitation coming down at any point around the lap. I was keeping it up. I was going on board with drivers as we were going around the lap to figure it out and just double check that I'm not being stupid and being blind as a bat. Because that has happened in the past. I thought it's raining and it's definitely not. But it's not raining anymore, and the track is looking a little bit drier. It's not quite ready for those dry tyres yet, but surely someone is going to be taking a gamble within the next lap or two, because it's drying up very quickly as well, and it's not raining. So going to be interesting to see who bites the bullet first, who takes that strategic gamble and goes back onto a set of dry tyres. But it is as things stand on lap 16 of 36, 20 laps to go in this race, but still, no one gambling for the drives. In fact, I've said that, and I think people are coming in. That is
Nico.
Lorenzinho and Nico coming in, but Lorenzinho
sped the pit
penalty in the
lane.
pit lane. So immediately negating the strategic benefit that might have happened from coming in a bit earlier, but onto the medium tyres. But is this too soon? DRS enabled.
There
It
it is.
might not be too early for them. They might be able to get a bit of an undercut here on those who are currently trundling around the Inters. It still looks quite a bit wet though. Is it too early? Who knows?
They've got medium tyres on, all 5 of them that come in. There should be the part of the course for everyone else. Yes, 7 drivers that are in. And we've still got drivers like Gatkowski at the top, still yet to pit. And I think they might have to pit now after seeing that. Or are they thinking it's too risky for now? We'll have to find out as the leading drivers make their way to turn number 8 now. 6/10 the lead for Gatkowski. He's coming in. They're all coming in after hearing that it's all getting drier, and Jamie nearly runs to the back of Spicer there as he comes round. He has to stay out. Lars Kramer also staying out. He finished too early. Well, we'll have to see. What is the pace looking like of Lorenzinho, the guinea pig? He's losing a lot of time, unsurprisingly. Oh, that's because he's just come out. Gatkowski's on the medium tyres, and now Lorenzinho coming around, and it is going to be really tough to start with Byron coming out of these pit lane very early after it stopped raining. Now, where is Gatkowski? Gatkowski is just coming out, and he's had a bit of a struggle out of the pit, it looks like. He didn't get moving, it seems. Lorenzinho is not close enough to challenge Gatkowski and Spicer.
No, he's not, but he has certainly gained quite a few places, taking that gamble onto those medium compound of tyres, and yeah, it stopped, and literally, very quickly, we're back onto slick tyre running, but that spell of rain, maybe proving to drivers' deficit, but also some benefit, but the track looking very much drier than it was. Is it going to be a loss of time, a loss of places for Lars Kramer and Jamie as they come into the pit lane now? It's lap 18 onto 19 here. That is it. But we're now everyone back onto the dry compound tyres now as the final 2 come into the pit lane. But really, this is anyone's game here. Who's got the benefit though? It looks like those who pitted earlier also seems to gain the advantage, because by seconds, Gatkowski is out in front and ahead of Jamie, who was in this trend for the lead, but coming in that lap later. 3 seconds.
Yeah, Lorenzinho's just gained a position on Lars Kramer, and he's right behind Jamie as well. So he's gained a lot out of this by pitting early. Lars Kramer's lost out, and he's on hard, so he's going to have a tire disadvantage. Back up the front now, Gatkowski and Spicer still fighting for that first position at the top, but it's still Gatkowski that has the lead as the fighting for Lorenzinho has a bit of a moment there out of the 4th turn, and that loses him out to Jamie, and Lars Kramer is now right behind him, trying to try and get that position off of him. Xenon is behind Phil by about a quarter of a second, and Aldini fighting Indian 13th place. Both drivers have penalties. Also, Lorenzinho has a 5-second, so he's probably going to lose 3 or 4 positions at the end of this race, and you don't want to do that. Meanwhile, Spicer's close up to Gatkowski again.
Absolutely, closing that gap, and think, there's no Jamie to stop this battle from happening. It is all Spicer versus Gatkowski here, but Gatkowski looks strong in the opening stages, but Spicer putting a challenge, putting a stamp on, trying to get this race win, trying to get on with it. He's got into the race lead, but can Gatkowski respond down the second DRS straight? We now go here around this lap of Austria, and Gatkowski thinking about a response, not able to make the overtake on that occasion, but getting very close up behind, thinking about the overtake probably in the next couple of laps. He's got a full battery though, whereas Spicer doesn't, so he's got benefit there as the action continues behind him, presuming that's between Phil and Moustache there as they come to blows into turn number 4. But Phil losing a place, but keeping it very nice and lucky not to obviously lose more places there, especially with Moustache behind. But looking very nice in this race so far is CPI currently second and third. Lorenzinho not really able to make massive inroads here on Jamie, but remember, Jamie doesn't have DRS here. He's not managed to get up
Battle
to
for the
the
lead.
top few, but Gatkowski trying to respond. Can he manage it though on this lap? Can he get back ahead?
Can he? That is the question. He's staying right behind Spicer for now. Meanwhile, further behind, it's a battle between Lorenzinho, Jamie, and Lars Kramer for third place. A battle for fifth place developing. Fourth place, sorry, between Lorenzinho and Lars Kramer. Lorenzinho playing spoiler, basically. He can't get this position unless he makes some advancements in time. He has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Lars Kramer can't seem to get past, and that's going to be frustrating for him and the entire WR team, whose Jerome is on the verge of losing it in the top 10, 1.4 seconds away from losing it. As a battle further back for 12th. This for lower scoring points positions. I do forget it is 15 drivers that score points, not 10. Jamie and Lars Kramer, the fast lap is going down rapidly, and Lars Kramer, with the hardest tyre, is setting the fastest lap, and now he's right behind Lorenzinho, trying to make a move for fourth place. Lorenzinho's been a bit frustrating for him, coming up the hill and into the corner, and that is nicely done on the driver with the hardest compound. But how's his exit going to be? It looks okay, and I think he's going to have a shot at Jamie.
Yeah, very good at that time there from Lars Kramer. Now he's already quite close to the back of Jamie, but obviously harder compounded tyres. They shouldn't be this good at this stage. Probably a little bit of battery usage, and maybe that helping of DRS helped him get ahead of Lorenzinho there, who's obviously not typically on the pace of these drivers, but just had a strategic gamble that really paid off for him and got him up to 5th place in this race. But that penalty is going to hold him back here, but if he can keep within DRS of these top few, it's going to make that penalty a little less hurtful. But Jamie is in DRS of the top few. Spicer leads the way there, followed by Gatkowski, Jamie in 3rd, Lars Kramer 4th, Lorenzinho 5th with that penalty, Nico in 6th there, Xenon in 7th, Moustache 8th, Phil 9th, Jerome in 10th though. There's a lot of moving parts in this race. Anything can happen between now and that checkered flag. 13 laps to go. We're nearly at 2/3 distance here, but currently it's still Spicer out in front. But can Gatkowski try and change that here? Not on this occasion, but he certainly needs to think about the move soon because his teammate is right on his back.
Yes, he is. It's getting very close there between Spicer and Gatkowski. They're starting to struggle after all that battling. And now this battle is starting to open up again as they go through the spray that's been left over into turn number 6. Phil has got past Xenon at turn 5. That's a great move by Phil, who's making up the positions now. Wolf left for IRT in this race after Nod's demise earlier. And now the leaders are coming to the next corner. And look at this. Is that Gatkowski tempting Spicer, saying, "I'm coming for your head," says Gatkowski. And Jamie's there as well. This could be one heck of a bloodbath coming into the hill. Up the hill we go. Is Gatkowski going to execute Order 66 at turn number 3? He collides with Spicer. And now Jamie's in behind. And he's going to try it. This is going to be a double tag team from CPI coming through turn number 4. Gatkowski's going to get the lead. And now Spicer is going to challenge. And that's, no, it's going to go for it here. Is he not? No, he's off the track. Into it. What was that?
Spicer giving a little show of the grass for Jamie there in 3rd, but Gatkowski into the lead of the race here. Spicer down to 2nd, but Jamie hunting, thinking about that 3rd place here in this race. But Lars Kramer, you've got to think he's in a good place in this race, to be fair. He is 4th, he's got the harder tyres, he'll be able to go further into this race. He's not going to have as much pace drop off as these medium compound runners. Could it be all WR's way with Lars Kramer here tonight? Well, that is the question that we want to know the answer to. Get your predictions in the chat. Who you think is going to win this one this time out? But it is CPI leading the way as things stand. There we go. Spicer trying to challenge it again into the top of the hill, but not able to yet the sun beginning to come out though. As the action resumes, it's going to be a blockbuster finish, no doubt about that. But Jamie trying to challenge for second place once again. Spicer to the inside,
Oh,
tries
he's
to go
hit
to the
Spicer.
switchback. Contact on the rear end there, going into the diffuser. It's a good thing damage isn't set to anything more than standard, because these drivers, they'd have damage to about every part of the car, I'm pretty sure. The amount of wheel banging that's going on, but the action continues for this top four, this top five, sorry, because Lorenzinho, I said maybe he wasn't able to get back into this train, but he's been able to, and he's keeping really close to these top five.
But he has a penalty, so it's not going to be... Actually, no, that'll be now. Nico is 5 seconds away, but unfortunately, fifth might be his peak, unless these top four, we'll not predict anything, commentators curse-wise. Anyway, the top four battling again. Here comes Spicer once again, looking for a move on the outside. Jamie's there, going for a move, and he's colliding with Spicer. Somehow they get out of it together, but the battle continues. The beacons complete in the chat about Jamie's lagging around this track, but it seems like it's not being a problem as Spicer goes to the inside once again and takes the lead, or does he? He's staying on the course, but no, Gatkowski's saying no. I do not give up. I am a lion when it comes to racing. That courage just showing there, he can't seem to get the move, and now Jamie is right behind him, and this is a bit of a conundrum now for the CPI. Second and third, and now Spicer's a chance to run as fast as he can and win this race. Mustache is nowhere near in terms of his teammates, so he's all on his own as the four drivers behind him try to prowl on his lead.
Absolutely, Gatkowski trying to hunt for it. Contact again. These drivers scrapping away, but Spicer able to hold it for the time being. But the action resuming once again. Gatkowski trying to battle here as you go up the hill once again. Can he go for it? The switchback here. Spicer with a bit of spinning on the rear there on the exit, but still holding on to this race lead. Lars Kramer though up into third place here, getting ahead of Jamie. Down the hill we go. Spicer still battling here. Jamie trying to fight it around the outside with Lars Kramer here, not able to hold it. But the action resuming, it continuing once again. These drivers, this battle, it's going to go all the way to the checkered flag.
There's another battle, Byron, and this one is for 8th place. But Jerome and Mustache banging wheels, and it's cost him a lot of time to fill as Killstorm's made his move into 12th. Jerome and Mustache getting their elbows out at turn 4. Meanwhile, Lorenzinho and Jamie close together. Now Gatkowski needs to find some time. Needs to buy some time. Coming into the first turn. And now towards the hill. He needs to get ahead. He needs to get ahead if he wants to avoid the likes of Lars Kramer and give some room to Jamie if he wants to get up into the second place as well. Here he goes back into the lead. Or will it be? Yes, it will. But will it be a response from Spicer? Or maybe even Lars, who has the fresher, harder, but better tyres, I'd say now, coming into the latter part of the race and seeing his pace. These camera angles, by the way, they are shocking. And Zeno and Phil are side by side. The side by side, and that's Jerome coming in.
Contact!
Went right into Phil, and he's actually got the position. No, he hasn't. It's Xenon that goes back into position. I think he had to give it back there. And now he's got Mustache right behind him as Phil. And it's not looking good for IRT at the... not IRT, NLR at the moment. They've lost the lead. They're losing positions with Mustache. And now, Spicer in a really tough spot here. Is he going to take the lead back again, it seems? Lars Kramer up behind as well, remember. Oh! And Lorenzinho spun! Lorenzinho has spun! He's lost it!
Absolutely shocking stuff happening here in Austria, but here we are. The action continuing to unfold. Gatkowski leads the way. Spicer in second now. Lars Kramer in third. What is happening here? The action resuming here in Austria. So much to talk about here. You look at the battle for 8th place here, you've got Jerome, Xenon, Phil, Mustache battling for those higher points places, but right up towards the front. You've got such a fierce battle here. I'm noticing that, though, that Lorenzinho has made a mistake. He's down places. He's down in 6th now. He was 5th on the back of this train for the lead. He's now lost places. There's a lot of things going on in this race. But Spicer, he's trying to battle for this race lead, but he has a CPI team on the back of him. He's got Lars Kramer on the back of him. Can he fend this off? Can Gatkowski win? So many things to think about.
Lorenzinho is actually going to lose a lot more positions. Remember, he has a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. By any looks of it, he's going to finish in what looks like 10th or 9th. Mustache has a penalty too. Nico up there in 5th has a penalty, but it's less than Lorenzinho, so he's okay for now. Here we go once again, and what is it going to be from Lars Kramer? He's going to the inside as Gatkowski takes the racing line, and they're still in front 1 and 2. Lars Kramer is there now. This is a battle for the win, and WOR's Lars is just right side of NLR. Really teasing him is the WOR driver, as Spicer starting to feel the pressure coming behind Gatkowski. My goodness. I hope this isn't the end of this, because this looks like it's going to... It feels like we want to have this to go on forever, but it can't, obviously. It has to end after 36 laps.
Absolutely. The action continuing now. Lap 31 of 36 here. We're going up the hill once again. Is it going to be a change for the lead once again? Spicer now in 2nd place. He's continuing up the hill we go. Now it's a dive down the inside for Spicer on Gatkowski as we head up the hill once again. Turn 3 down the straight though. Can Gatkowski respond? He's got DRS wide open like an absolute barnstormer down into turn number 4. He stays behind for now, but look behind. It's Lars Kramer and Jamie, hot on the scene, hot on the tail. Can they respond? Can they get the overtakes done? Lorenzinho there battling with Nico for 5th place, but it's all in vain. Those penalties gonna hold them back, pin them back places here. It's a case of damage limitation for them, but the battle continuing out in front.
Half a second separates the top 2, 5 laps. If Spicer is to be the first driver other than CPI to win in this season. It's all been CPI so far. They've had a 1st and 4th and a 1st and a 2nd. It might not be a 1st tonight. They have a 2nd and a 4th though, which is almost as good. Yeah, it's a 5-point difference between 1st and 4th and a 2nd and 4th. But now Gatkowski going to have to try and find a again. And he's going out the inside of Spicer into turn number 3. And it looks like they're going side by side coming out of the... Could be about to join this too. Lars Kramer right behind. The top 2 still side by side. What's it going to be coming into the corner? Lars Kramer's going for 2nd place. Can he get it? He's still side by side with Lars Kramer. It's Spicer coming out of the corner. And it's still Spicer in 2nd place after all that.
Absolutely stunning stuff though. It's surely not long until Lars Kramer gets up in 2nd place though. His tyres are going to be in so much better nick here. But 5 laps to go. We're heading on to lap number 33 though. So 4 laps to go in this race. Who's going to win? Get your predictions in chat now, because I want to see you cheering on your driver. But here we go. Jamie towards the back, thinking about a move ahead of Lars Kramer. But it's so difficult here. Who is your money on? Who do you think's going to win this one? It could be anyone, but Lars Kramer to the top of the hill, trying to get ahead of Spicer. He's got ahead of Spicer now, but can Spicer hold it down the inside as we go through the hill once again? Spicer holds it though, but he's lost time to Gatkowski now. The opportunity opens up, but further behind, Nico, Jerome and all those battle, but Lars Kramer battling still. It's nearly a 3-way moment there into turn number 4, trying to keep an eye on all of this action. Lars Kramer down to 4th. Jamie though battling here, the action unfolding, continuing side by side there between Lars Kramer and Jamie. How did they manage that through turn number 5? That's turn 6, not 5, but how did they manage that? I have no idea, but the action continues. Lars Kramer, it's as it was, but he nearly fell down to 4th there. Jamie still hunting for a good result here for CPI. He started further down, but he's really fought here in this race to get up to where he is. But so has everyone else. Everyone else has jeweled it out here in the hills of Austria, the Austrian mountains with its microclimate. It's been a dry to wet to dry, and it's been so much action, so much unfolding. But Spicer continues to try and mount the pressure, but Lars Kramer behind is thinking about his own race. Can he get a win here tonight? But Gakowski out in front has got the most battery of the bunch. Can he fend this off?
We'll have to see his forward track. It is 12 penalties, and 5th and 6th Lorenzinho battling as well. They've both got penalties too. These four at the top are clean, and we're within almost half a each other. Spicer has got 2 and a bit laps to try and find a way to stop Gatkowski winning again, and CPI winning again. First and fourth are the CPI boys of Spicer and Lars Kramer in that massive double-decker sandwich. Coming into the final 2 laps of the race, there's going to be an opportunity here from Jamie. He's got the inside line coming into the first corner. He can't seem to get past. Now, here comes an opportunity for Spicer. Spicer is going to head up the hill, coming up towards turn number 3. Is he going to pull something up? He doesn't look like he is. Jamie and Lars Kramer fighting for third position. And it's going to go into the hairpin. And Lars Kramer stays ahead for now. Or does he? Jamie is trying to find a way past.
He has found a way past.
He might have. So now Spicer really has to get a move, because Spicer is the last thing standing in between Jamie and CPI getting a 1-2 again. They got one last week. They might get another one. Lars Kramer trying to spoil the party. Spicer trying to spoil the party. Everyone's trying to spoil a party or something. I don't know whose party will be spoiled first. Who's going to be the real party pooper?
Absolutely. Who is going to be that real party pooper? Who's going to end the fun, end the pain? My game is lagging, and it's Jamie, who everyone said has been lagging all over the shop. And I can see why, because he very much is. He's been having clearly a few connection issues. Nothing too major. And I'm not quite sure what's going on as to why this lobby continues to glitch just a little bit. But as the lobby looks a little on the unstable side, the action still continues. I'm really sorry you're not getting the crispest of gameplay here. I'm not sure what is going on here around.
Ronaldinho's had an incident again.
Yeah, he's down places there.
Spicer so close.
My timing sheet has what is happening here. The lobby.
Gatkowski. He's pushed Gatkowski at Spicer.
The lobby is. The lobby's breaking. The lobby is imploding.
Byron, focus on the action. They're getting closer. Byron,
I can't focus. It's absolutely insane. The action of everyone glitching about the joint. I have no idea what's happening. Everyone's glitching about. Jamie's trying to get the 1-2. Can he get the 1-2? He's ahead of Spicer through the final bend though. He's fourth wide. He's got it into second place.
He's lost third as well.
What has happened here? Jamie in second. I'm waiting for the final classification. Gatkowski wins on my screen. Jamie in second. Lars Kramer third. Spicer in fourth. Nico coming across the line for fifth, but he will lose places there to Xenon with a penalty there. So Xenon in fifth. Nico sixth. Phil in seventh. Eighth for Jerome here. Lorenzinho in ninth. Moustache in 10th. Kimo there will come across the line in 11th. Indian there. 12th. 13th for... No, Killer Storm goes up to 12th. Indian 13th. Alan Dini in 15th there. Your final points classification there is Enzo Max goes up to 12th place. I'm not sure what happened, but the lobby broke at the last minute.
Well, if you focused on the action, and we all know your game is lagging, then I could have told you all about it. But CPI have another 1-2 provisionally. Spicer fell all the way down to 4th and lost the podium by 23 thousandths a second. Lars Kramer gets that podium, and it is an all Mercedes 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Phil somewhat got driver of the days on my screen.
Interesting. I have no idea what to tell you about that final lap because the lobby just broke on my screen. I
didn't break for me. It was perfect.
Wow. Who knows? The lobby glitched, it broke, everything went a bit topsy-turvy towards the end of the race, but it was Gatkowski who won once again. Another CPI 1-2. Can they be stopped here in competitive speed series? They've certainly put a stand on it now. Another 1-2 to add to the tally. They've won all 3 rounds so far, but here we go. The second 1-2 in a row. It's looking nearly as dominant as Red Bull in 2023, but Gatkowski wins there ahead of Jamie. Lars Kramer in 3rd, Spicer 4th, Xenon 5th, 6th there goes to Nico. A good weekend for LDL, but obviously an even better one there for CPI. Phil having a good recovery drive to get into 7th. Jerome there had a good start in this race, but didn't quite manage to finish that strong there. 8th place for him. Lorenzinho 9th, getting good points for RCR there. Not bad for them. Obviously, Lorenzinho was up in the 4th place at one point in this race, but falling down with that penalty. But Moustache in 10th, keep it there. 11th, Enzo in 12th, 13th, Killer Storm, Indian 14th, and Johnny Stokes in 15th. Alan Dini in 16th, and then Geetons 17th. Your 2 retirements tonight, Nord and Inwa there, 18th and 19th. But penalties galore, but quite the race, quite the bunch of action here in Austria. And CPI really putting a stand on everything they want in this championship here tonight.
Yeah, sorry about the commentary at the last bit. We all know the game was lagging. We try to focus on the action so bad, but I know the game lags. But yeah, it was a crazy ending. CPI 1-2 by the skin of their teeth this time. It wasn't a dominant ending like last time. It was right to the wire, and they should be quite fortunate they won this because Spicer was giving it everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite the end to that race. Not what we typically expect, with a bit of carnage to throw in the mix, a bit of lag to make it a little more difficult to cast. Apologies, obviously, for that, but there's a lot of things to think about in that one. I'm not sure we're going to get any drivers for a interview. I'm just keeping an eye on it. Have we got anyone in the waiting room?
No.
I'll just ask. But yeah, it's a bit weird, a bit interesting. A lot of people saying that the whole lobby was lagging. So interesting.
I watched this game get canned.
Yes, please. I mean, very interesting to see, but no one coming in for an interview. It would seem a bit interesting, a bit of a different end to the race than I think we expected, Logan, but still a good race nonetheless. I mean, Gatkowski, what a finish from him.
Yes, of course, he's got his second win for CPI. Gatkowski managed to pull off the W at the best moment imaginable, and on honesty, it's going to be really tough to beat these CPI guys. NLR just giving a run for his money, but ended up in a devastating 4th place finish. The last thing he wanted that W. Instead, it's just going to be another L to his name, no pun intended. So it looks like if this stands, another 65-point gain for the CPI boys, and they're going to be right into the stratosphere of points, and it's going to take a lot to beat them with 9 rounds to go. Speaking of rounds, what is the next round? Because it's not a manager's vote this time.
It is not, and I literally, funnily enough, was waiting to head to it. It is Canada. Next week, the manager's vote. Obviously, springing a few surprises. These drivers didn't know what was coming, and to be fair, neither did we up until kind of the last minute, but Austria was certainly fun for your manager vote, but we head to Canada next time out for round number 4 of this season. And you've got to think, there's a lot of things to think about here, so much. kind of action unfolds at that circuit. Long straights, lots of things to think about. I've just seen in the corner of my eye, I've got an online services error for F1. That explains it. Not a surprise at all. But what a race that was, and Canada next time out is certainly going to be interesting.
It is, yeah. I'm going to be looking for, of course, one of technically a street circuit. It's barely used as a street. Of course, it was built for the purpose of a man-made island in the middle of Montreal. That's what makes this what makes this track great. Sorry, I just got a message. I'd like to apologize, but yes, it will be pretty exciting to see what happens there. Of course, track with the Wall of Champions, and we all know what that does, especially if you've seen PSGL. Should mention next week after that will be Britain, then Belgium, then Spain, and you've taken off. I was actually watching your stream. There's still the streaming side, so I can see everything you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. Well, an interesting end to that one then. A lot of things to look forward to as we head towards Canada, and then Britain, Belgium, Spain, Hungary, Bahrain, Japan, Las Vegas, and Brazil, rounding out your season. But I think that's pretty much all we've got time for here tonight in the hills of Austria. What a race that was. CPI making yet another stand and yet another 1-2 for the marks for the tally. But heading into Canada, a bit of a different circuit, similar in ways, but difficult in others. The walls ever closer, especially that Wall of Champions. Will CPI find it? Well, we'll find out next time. This time next week when we head to Austria, fan favourite circuit as well. Not Austria, when we head to Canada, sorry. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. Logan, any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
These are cash out racing bills. But yeah, it's going to be tough to beat.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching, being with us tonight as we headed to Austria for the manager vote. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials. Check out our partners in Grid Finder and Simulus and our affiliate in Sim Racing Centre. But until next time, when we head to Canada, goodbye.